We never wonder whether the medicines we consume are actually helping us cure the illness or just adding to it. Hello and welcome. This is The Big Story on NDTV Profit, and I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Now, in the spotlight today is a report from the Central Drug Standard Control Organization that flags at least 50 drugs that do not meet quality standards. Some of these drugs are manufactured by well-known and trusted pharma brands. You would be shocked to know that this includes common drugs like the ones we take on a regular basis, including paracetamol, vitamin supplements, high blood pressure medicines, and the list is continuing. Now, this report forces us to think and to ask whether the medicines that we consume are safe. Now, the big questions that we are asking this evening. Question number one, how do we stop spurious drugs from entering the market? Who should be held responsible for patient safety? And what measures can be taken to ensure quality control of these drugs? In fact, we spoke to Naresh Trehan, the chairman of Global Health, about the sale of spurious drugs in the market. Listen in to this exclusive.
You know, it varies from whether you go to a reputed hospital or a reputed pharmacy. You'll find the best quality of drugs because they do their homework before ordering and keeping them on their shelf. The problem is, as you step down further and further away from reputed places where there is no consequence of being caught for spurious drugs, you'll find the prevalence is more and more. In some surveys, up to 40 to 60% of the spurious medicines are being sold. And lots of time, people are lured by the idea that it was cheaper mil raha tha, to isliye le lete. That is something which is false economy. And they often worry that hospital mein kharida tha to thoda expensive tha, because the quality of medicines is also better. The hospitals' costs and the pharmacies which are reputable, their costs are also higher. They don't go for spurious drugs. So that is why I want to warn the public that be careful where you buy your medicines from, and a differentiation of 20% concession and all that should not be the driving force, because otherwise you can fall a victim to spurious drugs.
And joining us right now to discuss this issue further is Mr. Sudarshan Jain. He is the Secretary General of the Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance. Good afternoon, Mr. Jain. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Mr. Jain, now from paracetamol to vitamin supplements to calcium to D3 to Pantop, everything has been found by the controller to have fakes in it. Now, the question is that this report obviously comes another wake-up call for us because, you know, as Indians, we are not even sure of the kind of medicines we are having to treat our ailments.
So, madam, just to put the overall thing in context, we have got around 10,000 manufacturers, and we have 500,000 different products which are being manufactured in the country. There are certain manufacturers who are at fault, who make spurious drugs, who make counterfeit drugs. What is required is the stringent monitoring and stringent criminal processes to deal with the defaulters. Healthcare is also a state subject, and the government is taking measures how to counteract it. As you rightly said, it is a criminal act because the patient, when he takes the medicine for curing his illness, for wellness, and if that medicine which is being taken, instead of curing him, leads to another kind of problem, it is a criminal act which should be punished, and all of us as citizens of the country should be conscious of it. We have been working very closely with the government. Government is seized of this priority. And there are various measures which are being talked in terms of processing, monitoring, and structure, which should take care of this problem.
Right, so you seem to suggest that we need to perhaps have more legislation in place, have stringent measures to stop this. You also mentioned that this is a very large industry, so there are issues in terms of controlling the quality. But on the other side, Mr. Jain, we are playing with lives of people here. So how is it that you see that the kind of regulations that need to be in place, and not just regulations, how does one follow up on it?
So basically, you have rightly said that we are dealing with the lives of the people. People take medicine for curing themselves, and if this leads to the problem, it is a criminal act. I will suggest some of the measures which are very important. First, from patient point of view, he should buy the medicines through a standardized retail shop, and he should ask for the bill when he buys the medicine. Because if he has got a bill, there will be much more consciousness of the retailer when he is dispensing the medicine. That's point number one. Point number two is all the retailers should buy the medicine only from authorized stockists of the company. Because if they buy from authorized stockists, the chances are that the drugs which he's buying, the brands which he's buying, they will be of standard quality. That is very, very important. Third is if he buys medicine from any other place outside the state, he should report to the drug controller. In fact, some of the states have come out with a regulation that if you buy any medicine from other parts of the country, you should report it to the drug controller. These are measures as far as patient and the retail chain can take it. From a drug controller point of view, it is very, very important that when any medicine which is reported of substandard, that it should be sent to the laboratories. The results should come out very, very clearly. And then those people who are caught up, they should be taken strong action. The whole operation should be stopped. They should be publicized very, very clearly so they don't start again. There are certain parts of the country where this problem is very, very rampant. And there are examples of drug controller department in many parts of the country, like Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, where they've been taking very strong action. So we should learn from them and make sure that these problems are contained. So that is as far as process is concerned. In terms of monitoring, there should be regular check by drug controller department in different parts of the country. There should be track and trace method that we are able to see the movements of the product from company to stockist to the retailer. Because if the retailer starts buying from authorized stockist and the patient is buying from a retailer, the chances of substitution will be relatively less. We are also suggesting to the government in terms of structure that each state department should have a nodal officer who should be able to connect to other states where the products are coming. Because what has happened today is health is a state subject. So if the product is manufactured, say, in UP, and the product is caught up in Punjab or, say, Maharashtra, there is no way to coordinate. And that coordination itself, people, spurious drug manufacturers take advantage of. You are right. It is a very high priority of the government. It is very high priority for industry because all the reputed companies, if their product is not giving the right kind of result, it puts the blame and reputation impact.
Now, that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, Mr. Jain. You know, as India is often called the pharmacy of the world, something like counterfeit drugs not only impacts the pharma industry's reputation, it also, you know, brings into question our credibility as a country if you really want to become the hub where, you know, we supply medicines across the world. And this is just a small example of what's happened now. We've had stories like this come in, you know, for a while now where we were supplying drugs to other countries and those were found to be counterfeit.
You are absolutely right. We are taking it up as a very high priority. It is a high priority agenda for IPA companies. We are taking it up with the government. And those defaulters who are identified, they should be considered as criminals with strong action. They should be advertised. What happens in India, many of the time, these defaulters, they start another company, start getting again into the act. So we want big publicity to this issue. And we are also requesting every citizen of this country that he should buy the product on the prescription. If the retailer is buying from outside the state, he should be very careful. And state drug controllers should also ensure that if anything is bought from other parts of the state, there should be proper monitoring. In addition, the companies will keep on taking measures of holograms, brand protection measures. These companies will do it. For us, product quality is fundamental. For us, it is important that our medicine, which is given on our name, should meet the highest quality standards. And we are very thankful to you that you are bringing this issue to the forefront. For us, the health of the patient is fundamental, and we will take from our side all the measures to ensure that this menace of counterfeit is contained.
Right, and one final question, Mr. Jain. You know, obviously there are a lot of points where pilferage actually happens. The manufacturer might be working on genuine products, but when it actually reaches the customer through a supply chain, we often find that there are problems in that supply chain. So what, according to you, are the pain points in these supply chains?
So basically, we also need to take care of the packaging material people, those who supply packaging material, because they can also, some of the suppliers of packaging material, they can start copying from other places. The suppliers, the logistic people, they should be guarded against. The warehouse people, they should be guarded against. So it is an integrated process which consists of packaging people, which consists of logistic people, which consists of channel members, and which consists of manufacturers. And anyone who is involved in this game, strong actions should be taken in.
All right, Mr. Sudarshan Jain, taking us through all those measures that the Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance is actually advocating. Thank you very much for joining us on The Big Story this evening.